Yo guys, quick break in to my own video to let you know that the Covert Go Blue playmats are back in stock. So if you wanted to get yourself a little something to celebrate my birthday, these beautiful playmats give you plus 10 luck on MTG Arena when used as a mousepad and plus 10 shuffler bonus at your local game store. Those things are just statistical facts guaranteed. Check out lanterngames.com. Products, official Covert Go Blue playmats. There should be a link below in the description. We only bring in 100 of these at a time, and they're ready to ship wherever they need to be shipped. So get yours today, because once they're gone, they'll be gone again for a long time. And thank you very much to everybody who checks it out. Now back to the video. Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, coming at ya with that historic Brawl content featuring Tatyova Benthic Druid, where we're literally going to ramp them to death. We're going to gain life them to death. We're going to draw them to death. We're going to do things that you just love doing in Magic anyway, and it's going to drive our opponents absolutely crazy and produce an overwhelming advantage while we do it. Ramping, great in Brawl. Card draw, great in Ball. Life gain, keep you alive if the opponent dare try to aggro you. All these things in one card, one beautiful Merfolk Druid that says whenever a land enters the battlefield, you gain a life and draw a card. This is an uncommon from the last Dominaria. Crazy. While you absorb the deck list, I'm going to dedicate today's video to Mario Cancinos. Thank you very much for signing up at the shout out tier on Patreon. You are very cool. And to all of you who have signed up on Patreon lately, thank you. The queue is about 7 videos deep. So if you signed up recently, don't worry, your dedication is coming and I appreciate you very much. There's a link in the description if you enjoy the content and would like to hear your name shouted out in a video. I appreciate you. All right. When you build a deck like this, you have to get rid of It's actually a really hard deck to build. You have to get rid of a lot of the cards that you love. I'm not running Counterspell, Brainstorm, or Memory Lapse in my green deck. In fact, you have to be ruthless and cut as many cards as you possibly can if they don't put lands on the battlefield. And then the cards that you keep have to help you put lands on the battlefield or serve a very specific purpose. Allosaurus Shepherd helps me resolve Tatyova, which, you know, some decks, their way of dealing with Tatyova is to counter it to infinity, and the Allosaurus Shepherd gets around it. But that's like one of the few cards that doesn't put lands on the battlefield. Here's a few others, like Wash Away. The tempo's too good. Pact of Negation. We often take turns where we play a ton of lands, we draw a ton of cards, but we don't have mana left. So we need to draw into Pact, and paying 5 every turn isn't a big deal if you have 50 lands on the battlefield. You think I'm exaggerating? Just wait till you actually watch the gameplay. But you end up running some cards. It's really bizarre to not run a card like Counterspell and run a card like Nylea's Intervention and Nissa's Triumph, but these get lands. You just need more lands. You need to hit every single land drop. And speaking of that, the count in the deck is 51 lands, and that doesn't take into account Jwari Disruption, Balaged Recovery, or Seagate Restoration. So it's a 54 land deck that attempts to draw 1 billion cards, put 1 billion lands onto the battlefield, and then eventually pop off with landfall triggers and just drawing through the deck like crazy. A few things that basically make the deck go into permanent overdrive are cards like Lotus Cobra, cards like Tireless Provisioner, and cards like Azusa, Lost But Seeking. When combined with the Commander, what ends up happening is you end up playing, and this might be the biggest addition to the deck in a while, hiding way down here in the mana base, the fetch lands, the tapped gain life fetch lands from Streets of New Capenna, those commons. Now, just because they say Swamp and Mountain doesn't mean they have to stay out of the deck. As long as they fetch one of our types, and they all do, they all either fetch a forest or island as at least one of the types, you can play them in the deck, and then, yeah, they hit the battlefield, they trigger, you gain a life, they fetch another land. Every single one of those is 2 cards for Tatyova, 2 mana for a Lotus Cobra, 2 mana for a Tireless Provisioner. It's like we got a whole bunch more Fabled Passages. What eventually ends up happening is we generate a whole bunch of mana, we play Cultivator Colossus, we generate a whole bunch more mana, then we cast Time Warp, or another extra turn spell like Karn's Temporal Sundering, and we untap and we swing with the largest Cultivator Colossus in the verse. to win the game. We could also very conceivably and very possibly deck ourselves, and we could play Thassa's Oracle, but I think Giant Plant Beast is both landfall centric and more on theme. Speaking of landfall centric, there's a number of landfall cards I'm not running because they were too expensive, and I'd just rather draw land. I'm well aware of cards like Ancient Green Warden that are very land centric. This deck also used to run other huge fatties like Coma, Nezahal the Primal Tide, Hullbreaker Horror, Multani, but all of those got cut, so we could just run land. And the other kind of sub position of the deck that it needs a lot of is Mass Bounce, to buy time for Tatyova to do the Tatyova thing. So we make room for Cyclone Summoner, we make room for River's Rebuke, we make room for Consuming Tide and Whelming Wave. Those are the ways that we keep our opponent from just completely running us over if they dare try to develop a board state. But if they try to grind with us, if they want to go toe-to-toe with Tatyova and card advantage, I'm not running out of mana, and that means I'm not running out of cards. I will pay 17 for this commander. I think I paid 19 for this commander. It's easy, because we're usually playing 2 to 3 lands a turn. No problem. And if you don't believe me, you're just going to have to see it in action. And on that is a good spot to transition and segue into the gameplay. So let's dive in. Let the Tatyova nonsense begin. Our opponent's going to mill us. That could get exciting. I'll mill myself. I got my Cultivator Colossus. Think I care? You think I care about that? Frickin' persistent petitioners. Well, they didn't have a crab. Let's see if they have the snow crab on turn 2. Tank. Yeah. I think tanking into the petitioners adds a very particular level of spice. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's cycle. See if we hit a Grazer or a Kami. We do not. How long do you think it will take them to figure out that they should play their commander here? Eh? Frickin' Hearthstone players, man. They come over here and they think it's like the sign of being a pro that they can just use up their clock on every possible turn cycle. Uro. All right, fill my graveyard so I can Uro you again. Provisioner can make a lot of mana, and they probably won't counter it. Oh, they played that fast. Opponent, are you okay? Did your big brother join the game? Okay, there's a folio of fancies. Each player mills cards equal the number of cards in their hand, and this says if they would mill, they mill twice as many. This could get ugly. This could get really interesting. Then again, next turn, we're going to have a lot of mana. Don't think life is what's going to matter here. Oh my gosh, next turn's going to be insane. We might just deck ourselves. Where's my Thassa's Oracle? Oh wait, I don't have one in this deck. Could be bad. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Do it. Mill me. Come on. I dare you. Okay, they took me up on that. They milled like 30 cards. No. No. Really? I'm just gonna draw my deck. That's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna draw my deck. Opponent, I hope you like clicking. I'm gonna have a lot of triggers for you to click through. You're welcome. And thank you for the main phase mill there. That's also really appreciated. Really set up this splendid reclamation thing that I'm gonna have going for you really nicely, I gotta say. Oh my god. Oh my god. The sound bug must be fixed because this should have killed it. I choose treasure. We need a choose all button. Go, baby, go. Holy crap. Green? Wait. Yeah, we need a choose all button really bad. Look at the mana. So what's still in here? Is the time warp still in here? The time warp is still in here. Am I gonna deck myself? Real questions, guys. Can I choose to stop when I use Cultivator Colossus? This has never happened to me before. I swear, never. Oh my lord. Sacrifice 2 lands. Sure. Let me get right on that for you. I don't even know what lands I have on the battlefield. How about those? Is that fine? Okay. What does this do? I need to read a certain card here. When it enters the battlefield, you may put a land for... Okay, may. And every one we put down is 2 cards. And we have 36 cards. So... that is 18. We can't go over 18, and we have to watch out for the lands that sack because they might trigger twice. So, I don't know, let's do like 10, or at least until we see a time warp, right? So, 1, 2, because these are stacking up Tatyova triggers in the background. They all resolve at once. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Imagine on mobile, guys. 10, 11, 12. Okay, well, we'll stop there. We have solved the equation now. We can go fetch the time warp if we don't draw it. And then we just untap and attack with the Cultivator Colossus, I think. We have an unsubstantiate in hand, so even if they have a unsummon, we got them. Oh my gosh, Magic Arena, go burr. Oh baby. Oh baby, this is what Magic's all about. There are a number of ways I could literally just destroy myself right now from this position. Seagate Restoration, Ren and 7. I could have probably just continued the Cultivator Colossus till I was completely decked. Alright, solve the equation. There you go. This is fine. This is fine. I'm giving it the full rope. They went to lunch. We only have 12 cards left in the deck. I can't believe we didn't draw an extra turn spell. But, you know, it's like that sometimes. The Pact of Negation is still in there, too. Maybe I should draw into it. Nah, it's fine. We can pretty much draw what we need when we need to. All right. Wow. That was a pop-off. Bolas. Now that's a showdown of commanders. I guess I'll keep because I have a signet. Almost any ramp spell is a keeper. Now, which discard spell will the opponent lead with? They always love their discard spells. Okay, they don't lead with a discard spell. From now on, if they hit them, it's fine, because our commander can regain so much card value, we don't really care. You're going to use a fetch land. Okay. Haunted Ridge. Do something, opponent. Orb of Dragonkind. Ooh. Okay, taps for a mana of any color now. Spend it to cast a dragon. Scry 2. Kind of good when your commander's a dragon. Let's cycle. Splendid Wreck. Mulch. Go for mulch. We hit a land. Good for us. Darn it. Okay. That didn't quite go as well as you would hope, but we do have a regrowth and a consuming tide and another regrowth in the graveyard. Opponent's looking to counter this Tatyova, you know it. Do we just make them play their counter spell and then we can try again next turn? No, I think we try the Provisioner here. Get some mana advantage. You know they want to counter something. Sure. That was going to get our commander eventually anyway. Our opponent has carefully selected exactly which lands to tap here to leave up the correct mana for their tail's end. I get it. We can't trust the shuffler. Got a Splendid Reclamation. Gonna discard the Otawara, I think. This will get countered. Opponent is incredible at Magic. And let's just get the outlook taken care of. Now, do they try to transform the Ravager here? Are they that thirsty? They do nothing? Okay, let's cycle. See what we want to get countered this turn. River's Rebuke. Alright, get our commander countered again. Gotta get through their counterspell somehow. This is the way. Yawn. Is it really going to take them that long to figure out exactly which counterspell and untapped land they need? Okay, they didn't counter Tatyova. Interesting. They'll probably just kill it now. Or now. Or now. I'm sure they've set up the perfect evil scheme. They are a Bolas gamer. Oh my god. Do something. So you're telling me you end-step Memory Deluge tanked and now you're just going to play land transform Bolas? No? We're going to play at Sushi the Blazing Sky. Okay. Whatever. 2 scries to the bottom. Are you really going to let me untap with this? You are. Okay. Cool. I would like to draw more cards. Let me get a lot of cards. Okay. 8 mana. Solve the equation. I will go get Pact of Negation. Thank you. Splendid Reclamation. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Show me your scheme, Bolas. Nice one. Good job. Let's go. And another, please. One more for the road. And another. Oh, Bolas, what's wrong? Did your scheme not work out? Shulane. All right, Shulane is a card that, like, it can pop off like Tatyova pops off. We'll see how this goes. Castle. I don't think the commander's coming down next turn. We can get away with a tapped desert here. I'm going to try to save the expanse for Tatyova turn, but we'll see. Selfless Samurai. Okay. Indestructible. Set up for an unsub. Every YouTuber's worst nightmare. The true card that every viewer holds. The threat of the unsub. Nope. Hexproof is kind of a pain. So I kind of want them to play the Linvala again here. And then I'm not going to counter it, but I want to be able to play Oracle and then have Wash Away up. So if I wasn't going to counter it, maybe I shouldn't have put down this island, because I could have saved myself a damage later. Maybe I'll get to show you what I mean here. Because now I have the Rivulet in hand, and that has to be my land after the Oracle for the Wash Away. Behold, it's Nissa who shakes the motherfucking world. Not blocking. Tulane. Thank you. They always are like, there's only one Wash Away in the deck. They don't have it. Unless they do. And then what? Then what are you? All right, we could play the Nissa. I think we just get Tatyova down, to be honest. Draw 4 cards, gain 4 life. Seems good. Oh, I want that. Let's take it. The opponent knows about it, too. Okay. Do I want that land? Not as much, right? And we could still hit a Grazer, so let's do this. Get some forests on. Ooh, we have Nissa's Triumph and Nissa who shakes the world. Nissa and Nissa's Triumph, you guys. It's a miracle. When does that stuff ever happen? Ooh, I like that Uro. We'll let that chill. No attack. Why would we? Let's draw this out. Make it painful. Trostani. Yeah, you can have that. Doesn't stop me. When Tatyova really gets cooking, you can basically ignore what the opponent's doing a good amount of the time, which is part of the joy of it. Oh, ooh. How do I draw this? I need a land drop. I guess Uro will do. If I Nissa's Triumph, I search. And then I don't get the Azusa. But I want that Azusa. You're coming with me. Alright, this Crucible's not bad either. But we need the land drops. Yeah, now I actually need to hit a land here. That's a Sundering. That's a land. Not exactly what I had in mind. But we'll probably draw into more lands with it. Excavator, cool. There's an Oasis on top. Excellent. There's a Rebuke, which goes into our hand. A Seagate Restoration. Now we can play the Azusa. Okay, bye. I understand. Between extra turns, Pact, and Cyclonic Rift U, opponent is over it. Tuskie. A little green versus green. I have Azusa. Is that a good enough reason to keep? We're going to. Hopefully we just draw nothing but land for the rest of the game. That would be nice. Azusa can also block a Tuskie. Though not a Gilded Goose. Fun facts. All runs Epiphany. All ready for action. Opponent does nothing. Well, we've done it. We've drawn land. It's funny. You can tell I've been playing too much Historic Brawl. My first thought was, what if they counter this? And then I'm like, mono green. Yeah, okay. They're totally going to counter me. Opponent? Come on, you're supposed to pay 3 life and slam the Tuskie. That has flash. I'm so confused. Alright, I think to set up Splendid Reclamation, I use the Field of Ruin. And then I cast the Treasure Hunt. I guess I'll cast Treasure Hunt first then. Hey, 1 land, okay. Now do I use Field of Ruin? I don't have a land for next turn. I still might. We can hold it up. I guess we have Alrund's Epiphany ready to go. And we have Karn's Temporal Sundering. Here you go. Here comes Tuskie. Yeah. Get you that card draw. I'm very proud of you. I also like drawing cards. I respect it. Here, I'll even untap a land for you. I'll get more green in case we draw Nissa. That's a land. All right, I'm going to try to set up Tatyova. I would love Tatyova on the field for my shenanigans. Besides, we might hit a land drop. We might one more shot at a land drop. An untapped land drop is what I was kind of hoping for. Okay. Was really hoping to drop the Reclamation that turn. But we're just fine. Ooh, Scavenging Ooze. Hey, pay the mana. Make it bigger. Yes. All right. You can take a squirrel hit for the team. And this one's over. This is about to get gross. Opponent discards to hand size. Always go blue. Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. To the moon. It's too bad. They'll probably concede when they see this. Would you like to block? No? They didn't concede. It's on. It's on, baby. Just when you thought it couldn't get worse, it's worse. I'm not done. This is fine. This is totally fine. Oh, am I out of land drops? Let's do some more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sure. 7. I guess I didn't need that much. Herbs! Would you like to block this time? Okay, no blocks. Cool. Karn's Temporal Sundering. Target me, bounce the ooze. Level 2. Level 3. Who wants to attack? I think Breeding Pool is feeling particularly spicy today. So they can chump once with the goose, then they die for good. But they're gonna go out. I offered him the easy out now before I take another turn and draw like 15 more cards. Valky. All right, don't keep a hand with Uro. Don't keep a hand with Uro. Rigged. Absolutely rigged. They can play Valky on turn 2, take the Uro, then it can become an Uro, and they don't have to sacrifice it. Yeah, we mulligan those. Otherwise would have gladly kept it. This hand might be a lot better, though. Absolutely rigged game. You think they would have Inquisitioned the Uro? A lot of people don't know that even works. They take the Grazer? Sure, you took the Grazer. What else would you like to make me discard? Okay. Cody. Cody's a dangerous one. All right, we have ramp and we go first. So I'm not getting rid of it. I could try to hold that for Tatyova, but I might have to get it back with Timeless Witness to make sure we curve out. Uro. All right. Good hand so far. Looking amazing. Our opponent, they got the memo that they have to ramp in this format. Good for them. Good for them. All right, let's see if we top an untapped land here with Uro so we can also cast this mulch. Oh my gosh. Everything is coming up CGB right now. And we hit 1 land, but that does mean we really fill the graveyard for Uro. We also milled 2 DFCs. But I can't complain. But I'm a gonna. Cody's on the field. Dangerous. So we could Time Warp, untap, then Tatyova, but let's... I think if we play Tatyova here, it'll probably die, right? Same thing with Uro. It's actually hard to say what the right play is, so to speak. But I really want Time Warp when I already have like a Tatyova on the field. Not ramping this turn feels weird, though. Still gonna do... We could play 2 lands this turn with the Druid class. Be set up for a future. But what if we run out of cards? That's not very good. Let's get Tatyova on the field. That's kind of a tough call. I'm really not sure. What would you do? Now the opponent will get to activate Cody and probably kill or interact with Tatyova somehow, because their deck is usually a bunch of removal. This is usually like their take on control. I believe they left their card on top. That's dangerous. Agonizing Remorse will hit the Time Warp, I'm sure. Okay. Does that mean they have a negate or what? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm gonna Time Warp. I'm gonna Lotus Field, I think. And we'll cycle. Evolving Wilds isn't bad. Lead on the Shepherd. Oh, we need all our mana to do this, actually. All right, let's get some cards. Let's see if Cody is up to the challenge of destroying them all again. Because believe me, I'm up to the challenge of playing them and drawing more. Casualties. It's a good one. I get Balagad Recovery to get back casualties. That's pretty messed up. Leave it down there? Leave it. We'll exile it to Uro. Yeah, looking forward to that again next turn. So do we play the Uro? We actually don't want to put out too many permanents, but then they'll just play something else. So I guess we just play the Uro. And exile you. We want to keep land. We don't need these spells, though. All right, Azusa. So we can get the Azusa on the field. That's going to let us get a lot more land down, which is huge against what the opponent's trying to do to us. I don't think we want to play the Druid class, though. If we play the Druid class here, they're just going to nuke it, right? That's not good. So we'll play the Shepherd. We'll play this. We're not getting cards for this right now, but I think that's okay, because we're going to need a lot of land to do both play Tatyova and to keep Uro coming back while we get casualtied. Or that. Oh my god. Well, that doesn't deal with Uro. And they're tapped out. So as powerful as that looks, we might be able to do something with this. Yeah, makes sense. All right, what does this do? Until end of turn, each elf becomes a 5/5. Yeah, this is a good draw, though. What do we get? Splendid Wreck. Splendid Wreck would be awesome if we could have another turn. With the Druid class, though, we are offering a lot of damage. Let's get the Sundering. That's huge. Uro lets us play it. Cody back to hand. We hit a land here. We can drop the Druid class. We do, but is it untapped? Untap? Untap, untap, untap? Nope. Forced Scry. 17. All right, is this enough damage? If I level it all the way. It's a lot of damage. I'm not holding back. Could have the hexproof Lotus Field, but I think that's a little bit too extra, if you know what I mean. Oh, am I one short? Eh? Nope. Not anymore. Never didn't have it. Easy lethal. Not close. Not close at all. Lagrella the Magpie. So blinky, bouncy fun. Ooh. Grazer. Let's do it. I don't have a turn one untapped green. Could be a problem. And these do not fetch green. So I need to play the desert on turn one. The Temple. Everybody likes Scrylands way more than me. Alright, so I don't need the tap land. I could cycle this, but I think we just want to curve out. So we'll go with tap land, Razor, sack land. Yeah, we got something in the graveyard for the Tamiyo, so that's nice. So do we slam the Tamiyo here? The problem with that is Tatyova tap land next turn. So we might not get to use it. But I think I'm supposed to get Tamiyo on the field. I really do. And what would be the best thing to hit? I'd take an Oracle of Moldiah for sure. Nope. Not surprising we didn't get there. Regrowth, Rebuke, Jwari, Lair in the graveyard. So Tamiyo can get back... All these are tap lands. Never mind. Can't get back an untapped land. We don't have those. Metamorph. Metamorph becoming Grazer. If you missed it, this card came out in the Historic Anthology. I made a video about it, but nobody watched it. Just kidding. Some of you watched it. Shout out if you watched it. You're cool. Untapped land? Does that work? If I get back... Oh, let's see. This could be fun. Well, we'll figure it out as we go. It's fine. I'm making it up as I go. So that's our land drop for turn. Now I have 3 mana and I can get something back. I guess none of it really ramps. None of it scries either. Alright, I'll go get the Time Warp or River's Rebuke, something powerful. Let's get the Intervention. Let's just have endless mana. And then a minus, and I'm gonna go get that Solve the Equation back. Because I'm not finished with it yet. I got plenty more fetches to make. Opponent really needs to take that Cobra. But can they do that and be able to stop me from playing Tatyova? Alright, they play Inspiring Overseer. Gain 1 draw. Sus 2 mana you got there, dude. In that case... Do you think they'll counter this? I can just get it back. Search for 5 lands. There's no way they'll let me do that, right? Well, let's see. Resolves? Nifty. Okay, what do we do? I didn't think that would happen. So I guess I'll get some of the channel lands. I'll definitely get the Reliquary Tower, because when you go off strong. Any land, any land. I don't know, maybe they thought it was basic. I don't know what to tell you. I should probably get a types land so that any and all forests and such enter untapped, and then we'll also get Castle? Castle's okay. It's a way to get 2 mana for 1. Yeah, we'll get Castle. Alright. Plus. What do we want? What do we feel like is lurking right on the top of the library here? Crucible of Worlds?
To the library.
I'm gonna go for Crucible of Worlds. I feel it in my bones. Okay, it's not Crucible of Worlds. We're getting to where I should just be naming Splendid Reclamation for the best possible hits. They're ephemerating. Okay. But will they remember that Grazer has reach? Also, will they cast Ephemerate on their upkeep? It would give one of these Summoning Sickness. Okay, they're doing it. Oh, they want a Cobra. Well, what have you got in mind? No attacks. This is so suspicious. Incredibly suspicious. What is their plan? Not what I expected. They understand that you always go blue, so they have some taste. could yet make a fine adversary. Neoform. Funky. So they get a 5 mana card here with a +1/+1 counter. What's the 5 mana card that's so good we set this up? Cavalier of Thorns. And they do hit a land, but it's a tapped land, but they get a mana from the Cobra, so they still have potentially 4 mana. Their Swords is in the graveyard. Lagrella hits the field. Lagrella targets Cobra and Cobra. And it's my turn. Alright, we did it. So, without the Cobra, the Azusa can't get to the Tatyova, right? What if I play this first? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 6, 4. That works, right? Except I don't have a forest, so it doesn't. Nice. I was so excited. Oh well. Frickin' Cobra. Alright, solve the equation for what? Pact of Negation? They'll probably wreck me for that, right? Should probably get something back. I have all this mana. We get back the River's Rebuke. We're in an okay position for next turn. If we get back Key, it gives them something to deal with, and we might hit. Yeah, I think that's okay. I think this is going to die anyway. They might blow it up, but we might also hit something juicy. Sure. Who knows? We might need to use this Boseiju on something. Where's that Metamorph? It's over here. It's an artifact, so we can Boseiju it. Opponent wants a Cloud Blaze. They're getting that value. Gotta feel pretty good for them. Just you? Weird. Very strange. The Grazer will take one for the team. The Circle. What you gonna do with that? The Lagrella. Okay. Targeting. I could have blown up the Circle. I kind of want to see what they do, though. I like them being tapped out, so I might just leave them tapped out. The Cloud Blazer and the Azusa, okay. I mean, Cobra makes a lot of mana too. Don't disrespect Cobra. All right, start here. Go blue. Let's go with solve the equation. Can we get a time warp here and do something with it? Not exactly, right? They have an Azusa, but if we bounce this, they get back a Cloud Blazer and we get our Azusa. Interesting. Then we have a Crucible. Okay. Boing. Crucible. Feel good, man. Cards and mana. Sack lands. Dryad. All right, we're doing it. We are doing it. I've lost track of how many more land drops I have, but it's going so well that I think we get to keep going for a while. I should add Displacer Kit into the deck and blink the... No, Blinking the Azusa doesn't get us additional land drops. That's not how the card works. Blinking Grazer, though. Now we're talking. All right. So we're out of land drops, right? Right. So, Dryad. We're not out of land drops. Do it again. Ooh, can we get to Nissa? Can we get to Nissa? It's close, right? Oh, we can get to Splendid Reclamation. We can get to Nissa. Easy. Never didn't have it. Never didn't have it. Although, how are we going to get untapped mana? We still have a few more land drops we can hit. Also, every land, by the way, is a forest. That's pretty great. Oh, we can get Time Warp now. We're fine. This is also fine. Yes, please. Continue. Packed is always nice to see. Now, where's my Cultivator Colossus? Because I think we drew mono land. Just rip it right here. Rip Cultivator Colossus. All right. Is there a Time Warp down here? No. So Solve should do it. All right, 4 mana left. The opponent hasn't left yet, so let's just assume that this is fun for them.
I think you will find my notes helpful.
I mean, we've been calling for it. Didn't nail it. But what else can we do here? Is there a way to go mana positive? Let's just regrow the Time Warp, and maybe they won't want to play anymore. No? Okay. My turn? Cool. I will Time Warp again. Now we'll play Nissa. And 0. And now we're looking for Cultivator Colossus for sure. With the extra turn in the bag and the protection from the Pact of Negation, it'll be large enough to run them down. Even with 27 life. So triggers. Client go burr. Opponent's not holding me up. It's the client. There they are. There they are. And there they go. And we are back for the post-game wraps. And instead of checking on stats and doing things like that, I'm just going to take a few minutes to remind you guys that it's historic Brawl. And we can spike it up and kind of use it like a competitive outlet. But stats aren't very meaningless when people concede on turn 2 or turn 1 because they don't go first. So we're not going to worry about that too much. I will give my honest opinion that this is a hell queue contender of a deck. But when it doesn't run a lot of counter spells so that it can run more land, the other decks of the format format that are legitimate Hell Q that can counter Tatyova 2 or 3 times while generating mana, like Teferi or Brawl, they will just take over the game. So it doesn't compete quite on that level, but it does give those decks a good amount of fits if their draw is anything less than perfect. This is also one of the most fun historic Brawl decks I've played in a minute. And when you get to do things, just busted things with Scape Shift and Splendid Reclamation, it's that experience of triggers that I imagine Life Gain gamers get when their Johnny's Pride Mate has like 50 triggers on the stack, or that Sacrifice gamers get when there's like 20 Meat Hook Massacres triggers on the stack. I get that from playing lands with Tatyova. Like, that's where I feel amazing. All those card draw triggers and then Cultivator Colossus into it. It's a moment of appreciation. And speaking of a moment of appreciation, I want to take a moment of appreciation here on the channel. They fixed the sound bug. It's been over 24 hours and I've played a lot of Arena on multiple platforms in that time since the sound cut out. Thank you to the person working on Magic Arena who fixed the sound bug. You're the true hero. It matters more than I think you know, especially to this guy who has to play for hours a day. And a game without sound just doesn't feel right. You guys don't know how many long and potentially interesting games I've been in the last 3 months. God, it's been since the new Capenna release, I think, that the sound bug has existed. And I've had a number of games that go 20 minutes to half an hour and the sound cuts out and it's not working right. And I start to get bored and I lose focus and I just end up quitting the game and never sharing it. Like, there have been so many of those games and I find them so depressing. I just don't put them in the videos because I don't want this to be a channel where I just rant about what I hate about the game at all times. But I mean, we're talking like several videos worth of footage if you put it together, like probably a week's worth of footage that I've just scrapped because the sound bug messed with me. It just depressed me. It made me feel like, why am I trying so hard if they can't even make a game with sound that works? So I do want to, on the record, say thank you. Also, why is this like this? You guys have probably been tilting off. It's probably been like that for the intro and outro, hasn't it? I know why. It's because I shot the Dominaria United spoiler video and I have to use a different setting for that. Okay. You guys are going nuts. Oh, the comments. Go give a little like. Go give a little heart to everybody. Go check the comments. There's probably a billion of them. Go give them all a little bit of interaction and engagement. Thank you guys. And thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. You're cool.